Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now we do have an unexpected update from Kabam in regards of AI. And first we're gonna go through it all, and obviously I'm gonna sneak in some of my comments in between somewhere here and there. But before I do that, I do want to remind you guys that I am in fact hosting a Battlegrounds Championship series for all the supporters of the channel on the Amazon site. So in order to participate and qualify, you do need to become a member to Amazon thread. A link to that will be in the description. But the base additional info is that it is going to be 5 tournaments. Each will have a minimum of $500 cash prize, iPhone as a prize for the final tournament, or a cash equivalent if sending one to you is financially unviable. And each tournament you will earn points to qualify for the finals, and obviously get much better rewards there, as well as one person in the tournament randomly will be gifted $50 every single tournament. So it's gonna start in season 16. There are a series of 5 tournaments, and I hope to see you guys there. But let's get back to the point. So greetings, summoners. We're here again today with an update on our work to remedy inconsistencies with the game's Defender AI and to address some of the recent concerns and issues that have risen over the AI in the last month or two. I think we have way more concerns and issues than last month or two, but okay, that's called, selective hearing, I suppose. As we have mentioned before, when we started working with our refractored AI, this is an ongoing area of work. We know that there is still work to be done, but we also need to approach cautiously to avoid changes that could have unforeseen consequences. Unfortunately, sometimes this work is disrupted when seemingly unrelated areas of the game bleed into it. In January, we discovered a knock-on effect changing the behavior of defenders right at the start of the fight. That was the result of a critical fix to how data loaded into the fights. This then cascaded into them feeling more passive in general. We cannot undo this fix to the loading process, but we have a fix ready for March release. We will continue to monitor this and tune fight start behavior as needed. Now, here is the big problem with it. And I will still not let this go, because Kabam very recently said that they have not actively changed the AI. And then a month later, they said that they changed the AI a month ago. So I will not let that go. So they clearly are meddling with it. They clearly are changing it. And they are letting the word actively pull a lot of weight there. That said, there is a new AI glitch that has not been mentioned that I'm going to be talking about later, that we kind of discovered in the previous meta, in the victory track. No, that in the previous layer second meta. But on a brighter note, we'd like to share that we are actively working on a few fixes in particular in the coming months. And this is where the problem is again. It's like in coming months, because these things have been dragging for years, and they always say in the coming months, and there's very little concrete things that they're actually doing and when they're going to happen. In the coming months, we will be testing a change to make defenders more willing to throw special attacks. So that means if they're testing it in the coming months, when are we going to get it? Particularly when facing characters with deeper dodge animations, such as Quicksilver, or basically anyone with an XL body type. If testing goes well, we hope to ship that live afterwards, okay? Like when? Like when do you expect it? Huh? That'd be kind of good to know. Maybe in July, August 2025. We're also working on improving how defenders access the parry mastery in general. Now, that is something I'm very interested in. Again, I'm just very kind of cautious. When is this going to happen? The goal is both to fix the current problem with defenders reparrying champions, double hit mediums attacks, and to make parries feel more fair overall. Yeah, because, I personally have been getting parried way more often. Even punishing special attacks that I have punished for years in the same specific manner, like Nick Fury, for instance. I always dex out of the last bullet or two of the Nick Fury's level 1, dash in to hit him, and now he can occasionally parry me. It's like, it's perfectly normal. And there are plenty of other champions like that who have all of a sudden started parrying me when, I'm playing exactly in the same way that I have done for years against these particular champions. But Kabam has not actively changed the AI, have they? They don't actively change the AI. But all of a sudden, out of nowhere, specials that you could punish, you just cannot anymore. This is, of course, not even close to the full list of investigations we have ongoing, but again, this is a very complicated and delicate area of the game, so the change is going to come slowly. We do want to reiterate that we are committed to these improvements, however, and hope you are feeling their effects soon. We appreciate your patience as we try to get these fixes to you in the safest way possible. All the best, the MCOC engineering team. So this is the acknowledgement that obviously there are many, many issues with the AI that are, well, borderline unfair and making the game significantly less enjoyable and playable, but are we getting anything for it? Obviously not. No potions, none of it. We get quite the opposite. We get Kabam doing and releasing content that's ripping our stashes apart as is on this broken AI. And again, I'm never the first to cry compensation at all. But this is the type of thing, especially once they have come out in the open now, admitted all these issues, that, I think community would greatly appreciate if Kabam actually extended an olive branch to the community and, sent out like a monthly package whilst they are, satisfied with where the AI is. Because this clearly proves that Kabam knows themselves that AI is screwed. And initially, when the AI issues started, for a while, they actually sent us these packages, and then they stopped. Well, now, AI is pretty much as bad as it was then, maybe marginally better. But again, given all the recent controversies, I think this would have been an excellent opportunity for Kabam to actually, again, come towards the player base. Say, here are some, revives, refills, stuff like that, so I have easier time with EOP, with Korean challenges. And, I think that would also help kind of cool the temperatures down, let some people look a bit more favorably towards Kabam, which is something that they desperately need. Will they do it? Probably not. Because, God forbid somebody's going to get free revive. Anyways, there is another thing that they're not mentioning here that was caught very, very recently, and that is that AI can get supercharged. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but or experienced yourselves, but in the encroaching stun meta in Battlegrounds, if you activated your striker as encroaching stun was about to stun you, therefore effectively saving yourself from the encroaching stun node, because, strikers hitting them, you get stunned, they are passively stunned, and then you effectively have time to run away, when the stun expires before the opponent gets to hit you. After that, AI immediately goes into Super Saiyan mode, where they're just insanely aggressive, they're insanely capable of parrying, and they're just brutal. Like, they dex everything. That's like the most brutal AI I've ever seen. Additionally, there are some other new things that they are not telling us about that they definitely have changed. Another thing, besides not being able to, for instance, punish Nick Fury's level 1 reliably anymore at times, I'm not going to say that it's like, 50-50 whether I'm going to get parried, but I do get parried a fair amount now against that special. There's another thing that I, for instance, noticed, like, it's almost impossible to switch Photon now. Because they are much more, well, they are quicker to drop the block and kind of like do that jittery thing. And even when Photon dashes back and I'm like doing everything perfectly to manually put her into the hard light form, she just drops the block and puts the block back up in between, my combo hits, which again makes the game significantly more challenging than it was ever intended to be, even with these incredibly rough defenders that we are getting, like Photon, like, Onslaught, and so on and so forth. So there are definitely more things that, they have to absolutely look at. Now, on the bright side, and again, as I always say, I do like to give credit where credit is due to Kabam. This is much better, right? Because we had these AI issues and we basically never saw them addressing them. And now it does seem that, we get some sort of update for like every month or two. And I do think in general, a lot of fury and rage in the community could, in general, in virtually all of the situations, whether it comes to these Korean challenges, whether it comes to rewards or offers or anything of the sort, a lot of the anger coming from community could be easily saved if Kabam just spoke to us more. If they explained why they do what, why they do think it's fair, why they are changing these things, and if they were more upfront with what their plans are in regards of monetization, in regards of content, and so on and so forth. Because, then you get some reassurance. Maybe, their logic makes sense and you can agree with things and maybe look at them at a different perspective. Or at the very least, the feeling of being informed rather than screwed over is always much better. And it's easier to defend BAM positions. And it's easier to say, it's like, yeah, it kind of sucks, but, you kind of understand where they're coming from as well. And I like to see that. And for that, again, I think it's fair game. I don't like everything that I see that they have written here, obviously, as I explained in this video. At the same time, I am significantly more content with ongoings in the game now that I have read them rather than, Kabam just ignoring them. Because that just builds up frustration. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about this entire situation. Do not forget to enter your BG tournament. I'll leave a link below to the video that explains it all, as well as the thread that you can join. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about